Good morning and welcome to WWDC.
Let's talk about iOS. Let's get started with the all-new lock screen. You'll notice the subtle depth effect with my daughters appearing in front of the time. Now, if I just press and hold, I can personalize it further. I'll just tap Customize, and now I'm in the editor. Now check this out. I can simply swipe to try out different styles that automatically change the color filter, the background, and the font for the time, all to complement each other. Tap on any element of the lock screen to start editing. So let's customize the font. I can audition different typefaces and choose from different colors. Now, I can also make my lock screen more helpful by putting widgets right on the lock screen. So let me move the girls down here and tap in to bring up the widget gallery. So I'll add the temperature, my activity rings, and let's drag in the calendar widget. Let's create another. I can bring up our brand new wallpaper gallery, which showcases a bunch of options for inspiration. I can choose a set of photos to shuffle throughout the day. Notifications now roll in from the bottom of the lock screen as you receive them, and you can choose to hide them throughout the day. Live activities make it easier to stay on top of things that are happening in real time, right from your lock screen. This will make it really easy to follow that NBA game, track the progress of an Uber ride, see how you're doing on your workout, and more. And now with live activities, the Now Playing controls can expand to a full screen view that celebrates album art while you listen along. Focus has helped people reduce distractions and stay in the moment. And this year, we're taking it further, starting with extending focus to your lock screen. This means your choice of a photo and widgets can all be tied to a particular focus. And now, your focus can also carry into the apps themselves with focus filters, which let you filter out distracting content. Let's take Safari, for example. Instead of seeing all of your websites, you can turn on the Work Focus filter and see only the tabs that relate to work. And you can filter not just tab groups in Safari, but also conversations and messages, accounts and mail, and events and calendar. Let's talk about what's in store for messages, because now you can edit any message you just sent. Second, now you have undo send, so you can immediately recall a recent misfire. And finally, you can now mark any thread as unread. And to give you more opportunities to enjoy shared experiences, we're extending SharePlay beyond FaceTime and bringing it to messages. Now, when you find something you want to share, like a movie on Disney+, you can kick off SharePlay right there and enjoy it together while chatting in messages. You can watch in sync, and you've got the same instantaneous shared playback controls that make SharePlay magical.
And this year, we have a new feature that takes image understanding further. Now, when you touch and hold on the subject of an image, you can lift it away from the background and place it in apps like Messages.
With Apple Wallet, we're working hard on our goal to replace your physical wallet. And now we're making sharing keys even easier with your favorite messaging apps like Mail, Messages, or WhatsApp. When your friend receives the key, they can add it to their wallet with a single tap. And to let you share keys with people who don't have an iPhone, we are working with the IETF to make sharing keys an industry standard that is free for others to adopt. We've made a lot of progress with Apple Pay acceptance in stores and online, and now we're expanding even further. Starting this month with Tap to Pay on iPhone, millions of merchants across the US can accept contactless payments directly on iPhone with no additional hardware or payment terminal needed. We're thrilled to announce Apple Pay Later. Apple Pay Later lets you split the cost of an Apple Pay purchase into 4 equal payments spread over 6 weeks with 0 interest and no fees of any kind. And Apple Pay Later is available everywhere Apple Pay is accepted, in apps and online. Apple Pay order tracking enables merchants to deliver detailed receipt and tracking information directly to Wallet.
With iOS 16, we're introducing great updates for Maps users and developers. You can now plan up to 15 stops in advance. Maps will now store previous routes in recents, so they're easy to get back to. And you can plan multi-stop routes on the Mac and send them to iPhone when you're ready to go. We're making it easy for riders to see fares for how much their journey will cost, along with the ability to add transit cards to Wallet. And if a transit card balance is running low, you'll receive an alert so you can reload it without having to leave Maps.
With family sharing, you can share your favorite purchases and subscriptions with up to 5 of your family members, including Apple Music, iCloud Plus, Apple One, and much more. We're adding a new easy way to set age-appropriate restrictions for apps, movies, books, and music, along with quick setup of other important parental controls. We're also making setting up a new device for your child, like an iPad, really simple. Just turn on the device they'll be using, bring your iPhone nearby, and choose to set up with Quick Start. With just a few taps, the new device will be set up for their use with all the parental controls you've selected already configured. And when your child asks for more screen time, you won't have to navigate to settings to approve or deny the request. You can now respond right in Messages. Finally, we've added a new family checklist with helpful tips like updating a child's settings as they get older, turning on location sharing, or just reminding you that you can share your iCloud Plus subscription with everyone. We're introducing iCloud Shared Photo Library. It's a separate iCloud library that everyone can contribute to, collaborate on, and enjoy. You can participate in one shared library that's shared with up to 5 other people. You can share everything already in your library, or choose what to include based on a start date, or the people in the photos. For example, you could choose to include just the photos where you were together with your partner and the kids. But we wanted to make it even easier with a new switch right in camera that sends shots straight to the shared library as you take them. You can also choose to have the sharing switch enabled automatically whenever you take shots with other members of the shared library nearby.
Many people share passwords and access to their devices with their partner. However, in abusive relationships, this can threaten personal safety and make it harder for victims to get help. Safety Check stops sharing your location with others via Find My and resets the system privacy permissions for all apps. It also protects access to your messages by helping you sign out of iCloud on all your other devices, and restricts messages and FaceTime to the device in your hand. Safety Check also helps you manage who you've given access to, and you can audit which permissions you've granted to certain apps.
Now, the smart home is still in its early days, and we want to help bring these powerful experiences to as many homes as possible. Matter enables smart home accessories to work together across platforms. Let's check out how we made the experience even better with an all-new home app. We reimagined it from the ground up, starting with the underlying architecture so it's more efficient and reliable, especially for homes with many accessories. We also completely redesigned how you navigate, organize, and view accessories to make it easier to control your smart home. We've integrated your rooms and favorites into the main tab of the app, so you can see your entire home in a single view. And we made sure it looks great, whether you're just getting started or have built out an advanced connected home. We've added new categories for climate, lights, security, and more, and an overview of what's happening in each category right at the top of the screen. When you tap on a specific category, you see all the relevant accessories organized by room and more detailed status information. A multi-camera view displays up to 4 cameras at once, front and center, and you can scroll to the right to see any additional cameras. We also redesigned tiles so the different accessories are more visually recognizable through shape and color.
We've been working with automakers to reinvent the in-car experience. This next generation of CarPlay provides content for all the driver's screens, giving an experience that is unified and consistent. Deep integration with the car's hardware lets you tune your car's radio or change your temperature without ever leaving the CarPlay experience. It also includes widgets powered by your iPhone that fit your screens perfectly. They can live front and center in the gauge cluster as well, giving you information at a glance. In fact, this next generation of CarPlay powers your entire instrument cluster. We're also excited to give you the ability to make the core of the driving experience unique to you. We carefully crafted instrument cluster options ranging from the modern to the traditional that use different colors, dial treatments, backgrounds, and layouts to provide various looks and feels. Vehicles will start to be announced late next year.
Let's talk about watchOS, and we're adding 4 new watch faces for you to choose from. watchOS 9 also introduces a refreshed Siri UI, and new banner notifications. And active apps will be pinned to the top of the dock for quick access.
Over 50% of people take prescription medications, and we wanted to help make it easier to track, manage, and understand the medications that you take. So in watchOS 9, the Medications app makes it easy for you to discreetly and conveniently track your medications, vitamins, and supplements anytime. You can log medications that you might take occasionally, like cetirizine for allergies. And you can receive notifications for medications that you need to take regularly. To build your medications list, start typing the name and you'll see suggestions. We wanted to make creating the list easier, especially if you take multiple medications. So you can just use your iPhone camera to scan the label of your medication. You can create a schedule to receive reminders and add custom visuals to make it easy to remember. Another important aspect of medications is drug-drug interactions, which can make them less effective or cause side effects. You'll receive an alert when you add a new medication if there is a critical interaction. You'll be able to review critical, serious, and moderate interactions, as well as interaction factors like alcohol. Medications also works with health sharing, which is updated in iOS 16. You can now send a family member an invitation to share their health data with you.
Health data is encrypted on device and is not shared without your explicit permission. You'll also now be periodically reminded of what health data you're sharing and who you're sharing it with.
Well, today, we're excited to start the next generation of Apple Silicon for the Mac. Introducing M2.
M2 starts the second generation of M-series chips and goes beyond the remarkable features of M1. M2 is built using an enhanced second-generation 5nm technology and features over 20 billion transistors. That's 25% more than M1. We use those transistors to enhance every feature of the chip, starting with the memory controller, which delivers 100 GB per second of unified memory bandwidth, which is 50% more than M1 for even greater performance. And because M1 is so capable, users run all sorts of demanding tasks. So for M2, we've enabled up to 24 GB of unified memory to handle even larger and more complex workloads. M2 features our next-generation CPU with advancements in both the performance and efficiency cores. The performance cores are faster and feature a larger cache, and the efficiency cores have been significantly enhanced for even greater performance gains. When we look at the multi-core CPU performance of M2 compared to M1, it delivers 18% greater performance. And compared to the latest 10-core PC laptop chip, the CPU in M2 delivers nearly 2 times faster performance at the same power level. And M2 delivers the peak performance of the PC chip while using a quarter of the power. Now let's compare M2 to the latest 12-core PC laptop chip, which needs dramatically more power to deliver an increase in performance. M2 delivers nearly 90% of the peak performance of the 12-core chip while using just a quarter of the power. This is what we mean by the power-efficient performance of Apple Silicon. M2 also features our next-generation GPU, which now has up to 10 cores. That's 2 more than M1. M2 delivers up to 25% higher graphics performance at the same power level as M1, and up to 35% higher performance at its max. And compared to the integrated graphics in the latest PC laptop chip, the GPU in M2 delivers 2.3 times faster performance at the same power level. And M2 delivers the peak performance of the PC chip using just 1/5 of the power. The neural engine in M2 can process up to 15.8 trillion operations per second. That's over 40% more than M1. It also has our next-generation media engine, including a higher bandwidth video decoder that supports 8K H.264 and HEVC video. And M2 features our powerful ProRes video engine for hardware-accelerated encode and decode. So that's M2.
So now, let's talk about the first Mac to get the M2 chip.
The new MacBook Air takes everything our users love about the Air to the next level. The durable, all-aluminum unibody enclosure feels incredibly solid when you hold it. The new Air is just 11.3 millimeters thin, or under ½ an inch, and it's only 2.7 pounds. MacBook Air now comes in 4 finishes: silver, space gray, a gorgeous starlight, and a stunning midnight.
And yes, MagSafe is back for dedicated charging and peace of mind when you're plugged in. And it keeps the 2 Thunderbolt ports free for connecting to a variety of accessories. There's also an audio jack with support for high impedance headphones. We expanded the display closer to the sides and up around the camera to make room for the menu bar. The result is a larger 13.6-inch display with much thinner borders. At 500 nits, it's also 25% brighter than before. And MacBook Air now supports 1 billion colors, so photos and movies look incredibly vibrant. MacBook Air features a new 1080p camera with twice the resolution and twice the low-light performance of the previous Air. To fit inside such a thin design, the speakers and mics are completely integrated between the keyboard and display. A 3-mic array captures clean audio using advanced beamforming algorithms. And there's a 4-speaker sound system that produces amazing stereo separation and vocal clarity. There's also support for immersive spatial audio for music and movies with Dolby Atmos. The Magic Keyboard features a full-height function row with Touch ID. And of course, the new Air has a spacious, industry-leading Force Touch trackpad. And when it comes to performance, M2 takes it even further. So applying filters and effects in apps like Photoshop is up to 20% faster than before, and a massive 5 times faster for customers that haven't yet upgraded to Apple Silicon. And for intensive workloads like editing complex timelines in Final Cut Pro, performance is nearly 40% faster than the previous Air. Thanks to the power efficiency of M2, all these capabilities are built into a silent, fanless design. And even with a larger display and increased performance, the Air delivers the same great all-day battery life with up to 18 hours of video playback. There's also some new charging options, including a compact power adapter with 2 USB-C ports, so you can charge 2 devices at once. And for the first time, the Air supports fast charge with an available 67-watt adapter, so you can charge up to 50% in just 30 minutes.
The all-new MacBook Air starts at $1199 and just $1099 for education. M2 is coming to another Mac, which is actually the world's 2nd best-selling laptop, the 13-inch MacBook Pro. With a faster 8-core CPU and 10-core GPU, working with raw images and apps like Affinity Photo is nearly 40% faster than the previous generation, and over 3 times faster if you're upgrading from a model without Apple Silicon. And playing graphics-intensive games like Baldur's Gate 3 is also nearly 40% faster than the previous 13-inch Pro. With an active cooling system, the MacBook Pro is designed to sustain its Pro performance. And thanks to M2, it also supports up to 24 gigabytes of unified memory. MacBook Pro also delivers phenomenal battery life with up to 20 hours of video playback. So that's the powerful 13-inch MacBook Pro. The powerful 13-inch MacBook Pro starts at $1299 and $1199 for education. And they'll be available next month. And the MacBook Air with M1 stays in the lineup at $999 and just $899 for education.
macOS Ventura enriches so many of the ways we use our Macs. This year, we have a new way to automatically keep everything organized and give you quick access to your windows. It's called Stage Manager. Let's activate Stage Manager from Control Center. As you see, it automatically arranges all my windows for me off to the side and puts the app I'm currently working with front and center. When I bring forward a different app, like clicking on Mail here in the dock, you'll see that it's brought to the stage and Safari gracefully moves over to the left with my other recent apps. You'll notice that for an app with multiple open windows, like Pages here, Stage Manager gathers all the windows together in a single pile. When I click, I get the top one. And if I want a different window, I can cycle through them just by clicking. Here, I'll drag in Notes and pair it with my Pages window. And if I go back to my previous group, Stage Manager keeps my windows arranged just as I left them. I'm working on this Final Cut project, and I want to pull in a couple of files. With just a click on my desktop, my windows clear the stage and my files are revealed. Now, I can grab these title graphics and drag them over to my Final Cut window. Spotlight is great for doing all kinds of things, like quickly launching an app or starting a search. And now you can peek at a result in Quick Look with a tap on the spacebar. Spotlight can now also find images from your photo library across the system and on the web. And using live text, you can search the text inside the image. You can also take actions like starting a timer or running a shortcut right from Spotlight. It's also a great way to get information, now leveraging the full window for richer results. We wanted to make Spotlight even easier to discover and access, so we added it right to the bottom of the home screen. With just a tap, you can use Spotlight to launch an app, find a contact, or start a search.
With macOS Ventura, Safari is the world's fastest browser. And now, Safari has a new way to share your favorite content with others with shared tab groups. Whether you're planning a trip with friends or shopping for a couch with your partner, you can share all the tabs in one place. And when they find something great, they can add tabs too. You can see which tabs your friends are looking at live, and using built-in collaboration, you can easily connect in real time over messages or FaceTime. We have a new way to make the web a safer place: passkeys. Passkeys use powerful cryptographic techniques and the biometrics built into your device to keep accounts safe. To create a passkey, just use Touch ID or Face ID to authenticate, and you're done. When users create a passkey, a unique digital key is created that only works for the site it was created for. Passkeys can't be phished. Since the passkey never leaves your devices, hackers can't trick you into sharing it on a fake website. And passkeys can't be leaked because nothing secret is kept on a web server. Passkeys are securely synced across Apple devices using iCloud Keychain and are instantly available on Mac, iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV. With a passkey, you'll be able to walk up to a non-Apple device and sign into a website or app using just your iPhone.
AirPlay and Handoff allow you to always use the right device for the moment. And today, we're extending Handoff to FaceTime. Now picture this. You answer a FaceTime call on your iPhone while you're away from your desk. When you get home and bring your iPhone up close to your Mac automatically recognizes the call on your iPhone, and you can move it to your Mac seamlessly, giving you a bigger view to continue the conversation. You can hand off calls in any direction between your devices, so you'll always be able to join the call from the right one. And now, with Continuity Camera, you can use iPhone as your webcam. In addition to FaceTime, you can use Continuity Camera with any macOS video conferencing app, like Zoom, Teams, WebEx, and more. And we're working with Belkin to offer beautiful stands to hold your iPhone at the perfect height and angle. These will be available later this year. This year, in iPadOS 16, we have a big release that's going to take this versatility even further. So we're bringing Stage Manager, our latest windowing system that you just saw in macOS, to iPadOS. With Stage Manager activated, I can now resize windows, exposing a powerful new way to work with apps on iPad. For the first time on iPad, I can work with overlapping windows. I'm going to drag Messages alongside Calendar here. And Stage Manager automatically moves Calendar gently off to the side as I bring it to the stage. And if I move Messages to the left, Stage Manager repositions Calendar for me automatically. And like you saw earlier, I can resize windows and arrange everything just the way I want. And it gets even better when I plug my iPad into an external display. My wallpaper beautifully fills the entire display, and I can move my cursor to it from my iPad. And that's iPadOS 16.
Thank you for joining us, and let's have a great WWDC.